If you're over 50 and struggling to lose weight, it's not your fault. You may be making one of these 10 mistakes without even realizing it. I have made most of them myself, and once I learned how to fix them, that's when I started to see results. Hey everyone, it's Cathy. Welcome back to Cathy Over 50. When I first started to try to lose weight over the age of 50, I realized that what worked for me back in my 20s, 30s, and 40s no longer worked. The weight it was more difficult to come off, but I'm here to tell you that it is not impossible. We just have to find out what works for us, and we have to tweak some things and maybe learn some new habits. So today I'm going to share 10 mistakes that I was making, how I fixed them, because I want to save you the same struggle that I went through. Mistake number 1 is eating too little. I used to think skipping meals or eating tiny portions would help me to lose faster. Nope. It left me hungry, exhausted, cranky, craving sugar, and it really slowed my metabolism. So after working one-on-one with a dietitian, this is what I learned. Focus on eating enough nutrient-dense foods and making sure that protein is in every meal. Protein keeps your energy up and it helps protect your muscle. Protein keeps you feeling full, and it is one of the keys to losing weight over the age of 50. And since I have been focusing on protein and building my meals around protein, I have definitely noticed a difference in that I'm feeling fuller longer. I'm not craving, sugar, candy, sweet treats. On occasion, I do. I'm human. But overall, as a whole, that's probably the biggest factor that I have noticed, and I believe it is the key now in helping me to continue to lose weight. Mistake number 2 was ignoring strength training. I was thinking that cardio was enough and that it really wasn't that important to lift weights. Boy, am I wrong. After age 50, maintaining muscle is key for your metabolism. I have recently begun strength training. Nothing complicated. I just got myself a pair of 5-pound and 10-pound dumbbells, and I'm just slowly beginning to lift weights, and I'm already beginning to see the benefits, and I'm proud of myself, and I think that this is something that I will keep up with. And as that progresses, I will be sure to share what I'm doing with you. First, I want to focus on making sure that my form is correct. I'll be sure to share that journey with you in a month or so. It doesn't have to be complicated. If you don't have dumbbells, you could even use soup cans. You don't even need anything. Just make a fist. If you squeeze your fist, that can sometimes create resistance, and you can do some upper body exercises. There are tons of free videos on YouTube where you can just punch in, super easy beginner strength training videos. Mistake number 3 is too much cardio. I used to think that more cardio would equal faster results, and that's not true. Cardio is still extremely important for everyone, regardless of our age, because it's good for our heart health, it's good for our mental well-being, it's good to manage stress. It's just good to get out of the house every day and just be with nature. Just take 15, 20, 30 minutes, go for a nice walk, and it really just helps to boost my mood. But I'm not relying solely on cardio. What I have realized is that strength training is the key for boosting my metabolism, keeping muscle, and for shaping my body. So now every day I've set a goal to at least do 20 minutes of cardio. Some days I don't want to. And the occasional day I just don't. But I make sure that I try and get out there the next day. I've only recently started doing this, and I can already tell a difference in my mental well-being. I look forward to that time by myself, either listening to my music or, just listening to nature and just zoning out and just moving my body. I don't like exercise. I never have. I wish that I did, but I'm kind of reframing it as that it's an investment into my future self because 30 years from now, I still want to be able to travel. I want to be able to hike, to snorkel, you know, just to have an active life. If I fall down, I want to be able to get up. So I've kind of reframed my thinking that exercise is torture. And now I'm thinking that no, I'm putting money into my health account and the money is being the time that I'm spending every day either lifting weights or moving my body. So I think if you reframe your thinking about exercise that way, after a while, it starts to be something that I don't want to say look forward to, but it's something that you realize you just have to do. Kind of like brushing your teeth, right? We got to do that every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. That's how I'm trying to think about incorporating exercise. I hope that makes sense and that you can find it helpful. Mistake number 4 is skipping protein at breakfast time. I have never been a breakfast eater. Even whenever I was farming, I never ate breakfast. I just can't get out of bed and eat breakfast. I'm not one of those people. Maybe 3 hours after I get up, I start to get a little hungry and then I'll have breakfast. But what I do, like I said earlier, is I build my breakfast around protein. And what I have found is the days whenever I start my day with protein, and it doesn't have to be complicated. I still don't like a big breakfast, but what I will make is that I found some 17% protein Greek yogurt. I'll put a cup of that in a bowl and then I'll add some fresh blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, because all those berries are on the low glycemic index, and that means it's not going to spike your blood sugar. Plus, they're good for you. Like blueberries have lots of antioxidants in them. They're good for your health. And then instead of putting granola on, which is what I used to eat, and it's full of sugar, I put on some chia seeds, I put on some pumpkin seeds, sometimes some sunflower seeds, and the seeds just add a little bit of crunch and texture, and it really satisfies me. So I find myself, most days I'm up by 7:30, and then by 9:30, 10, I'm feeling a little peckish and want something to eat. I'll have that Greek yogurt bowl, and then around 1 o'clock, that's when I feel like, yeah, I'm ready for lunch now. I have really found since switching to that high percentage protein Greek yogurt, it has really been a game changer. And I am not someone that likes the taste of plain Greek yogurt. I am managing to eat the 0% vanilla flavor. My dietitian said, you have to eat what works for you. So I showed her, you know, the plain and the vanilla, and, you know, the difference in sugars or calories, it really isn't going to matter. The thing is, it's something that I have to stick with. It's a way of life. It has to taste good for me to eat it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. So check out that yogurt if you can get it, and it's been a game changer. They also have other flavors that are 0%. But if you have to stick with the 2%, it's still fine. Maybe instead of having a cup, maybe just have 3/4 cup. Whatever works for you. If you like eggs, you know, have eggs for breakfast. Egg whites are high in protein. But myself, I'm not a huge egg eater, and if I'm gonna eat eggs, I usually have them at supper time. Mistake number 5 is drinking my calories. Be mindful of drinking too many calories. Lattes, certain smoothies, fruit juice, even some healthy drinks can pack more calories than a full meal. They don't fill you up and they leave you craving sugar. So instead, drink water, drink tea, or a low-calorie protein shake. That really will make a huge difference and it won't leave you feeling deprived. Find a protein powder that you like. I now have 5 different flavors of the Good protein powder. I love it. It's the first protein powder that I have found that doesn't leave me with that, you know, aftertaste of like protein powder kind of tastes like chalk. Some flavors are better than others. I can usually make a protein shake with the protein powder, 1 scoop, my Oikos yogurt, water. Sometimes I'll use like a nut milk, a cup of that. I'll throw in some flaxseed or some hemp, and my shake ends up being around 30 grams of protein. And I find for me, 30 grams of protein at a meal is like my happy place, because sometimes I'll just have that shake in the evening for my dinner. If we've had a bigger lunch, I'm not that hungry, but I know that I need to eat. I need to get some protein in. That will keep me feeling full, and I find that I'm not wanting to pick and crave sweets and have stuff in the evening. So there are protein powders out there. The key is to finding one that works for you. Okay, so this one, it's still a work in progress for me, and it's not managing stress. I have a lot of chronic stress in my life, and it's not stress that I can get rid of. I have a husband that has been ill with cancer, and it's something that we've lived with for 31 years. And the last couple of years, he's been diagnosed with another form of cancer that is metastatic, and well, he's not seeking treatment for it, so eventually, you know, what's going to happen? I try my best to be positive every day, but it's always, you know, it's back there. I try not to let it rule my life. I try to still to take care of myself, and that truly has been a struggle for me. I'm tired. You know, 31 years of dealing with this, it's tiring. And you might have someone in your life that you're a caregiver for as well. And, you know, it just wears a person down. But I'm still, you know, doing my very best. So stress increases cortisol. That's why I have a big belly, because that's where all my fat goes whenever I'm eating, you know, like chocolate bars or jelly beans or whatever it is. So it can really make belly fat difficult to lose. And it's not easy to lose weight and live stress-free whenever you have this constant negative cloud living over your head. So I try to take short walks every day. I will breathe deeply. Lately, it's been so hot here, but I will try and go outside and just sit for 5, 10, 15 minutes in the sun, close my eyes, just feel the warmth of the sun on my body. And it's just a way to decompress. So that's how I'm coping. That's how I'm managing my stress. It's a heck of a lot better than how I was managing it 3 years ago, when, you know, I'd add 5 bags of candy to the grocery order every week and just sit on the couch and aimlessly stuff them in my face. Do I still eat candy? Yes, occasionally. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I never said that I was perfect, and I never will be perfect. I'm just like human like the rest of us, and just trying to find my way. But I can tell you, these things do help. I find, I've told you this before in the past, say I get a craving that I want a vanilla milkshake. I will tell myself, can't have the vanilla milkshake today. But if you can go all day without, you know, eating any bad stuff, and you still crave that vanilla milkshake tomorrow, get the vanilla milkshake. Because what I have found in the past is, if I don't have the vanilla milkshake after 24 hours, then I'm going to eat everything in the cupboard, and I'm still going to go have the vanilla milkshake. But what I have learned is, most of the time, the next day, I forgot about the milkshake. It's about training myself for not giving myself instant gratification. I try and bargain with myself, and it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And I find the days that it doesn't, it's the days where I haven't slept, the days where I am under a ton of stress, something's maybe gone wrong, I haven't started my day with protein. Those 3 things are key for me. So maybe try those tricks, you know, for yourself. Or if you have a trick that works for you, let us know in the comments, because it's good if we can help each other out. Mistake number 7 is not prioritizing sleep. I am dog tired today. I don't know if you can tell. I've got a killer migraine. One came in the middle of the night, and I'm just trying to get through today. When I don't sleep, the next day is not going to be a good day because I'm exhausted. I'm going to make bad choices. I'm just going to say, ugh, forget about it, and go back to, my bad habits that I've been dealing with for the last 20, 30 years. Having Buddy, my cat, I love him dearly, but he's gotten into the habit lately of coming in and waking me up at like 5 to 12, at 2:30, at 10 to 5, again at 6. So it's really hard to get that consistent sleep that I need. And I'm a person, I need my 8 hours of sleep. I can't go on 3-4 hours. I get really, really tired. And I know people say throw him in the basement. I cannot throw him in the basement. The way our house is, I would still hear him. So I've tried different things. I've tried taking magnesium an hour before I go to bed, and I do find that helps because my hips used to really ache at night, and I don't know if it's the magnesium. It's probably a combination of that and the stretching that's helping, but people say magnesium helps to calm you down and will help you to sleep. Some nights I'll take melatonin. Some nights it works, some nights it doesn't. So I'm not telling you to take these things. Always check with your doctor. But those are things that have helped me in the past. But this past week, I am dog tired. I just cannot get a decent night's sleep. And I'm really hoping that this migraine goes away and I can sleep good tonight. Because if I don't get my sleep, the next day is not going to be a good day for me. And if you also struggle with sleep, you could limit your screen time before going to bed because, the light on our phones, TVs, that does something to our brain. It stimulates us, keeps us awake. We don't have a TV in our bedroom. I know some people like those white noise machines. They would drive me crazy. I do find that having my eye patch will help, like my eye mask I sleep with sometimes. But then I usually wake up and it's somewhere in the bed. It's got thrown off throughout the night. But yeah, right now, Buddy, he's just going through a spell where he's just trying to make his mama really tired. It's hard when you have pets, right? Because we love them so much. I don't want to hurt his feelings, so I'd rather go without sleep. But I don't know how to solve this problem. This next one is an important one, and it is focusing just on the number on the scale. I have lost 20 pounds. I really haven't lost any more weight. I lose 2, but then I'll put a pound back on. We're just playing this game until I can really focus, and I think what I'm doing now is going to help. But what I'm noticing is that I ordered a pair of pants the other day, and I'm down a size. I'm now a size 18, whereas before I was a 20. So yay. I'm noticing that my clothes are fitting differently. Clothes that were snug before, they're not as snug. So we have to really celebrate those things. And I find also, it started in my 50s, my weight seems to move around. I can still weigh the same, but it's the fat is shifting to different places. Have you noticed that? I don't know what goes on whenever we turn 50. My mom always told me, wait till you turn 50. Things are going to start to ache and you're going to get aches and pains out of nowhere. And she was right. Wait till you turn 55. Oh my goodness. Since I'm 57 now, and I feel like since I turned 55, it's just been a couple of rough years. But I have to tell you, my knee is so much better. I do not want to jinx it, but I stopped physio. And oh my gosh, it feels so good to be able to walk again and to be able to go upstairs without, being in pain. I ripped a tendon in my knee 14 months ago, and it took me that long to heal. That's another thing, and I talked to my friends about this as well. It seems like once we're over 50, if we get an injury, it seems to take a lot longer to heal. I suppose if you've been in shape your whole life, maybe it's a little quicker for you. That's been the case for me. So, if you're doing really well with your eating, if you're exercising, don't get too discouraged with the number on the scale. Because don't forget, if you're lifting weights, you're building muscle. And, sometimes maybe that's why the number isn't changing. And I've also had in the past where, you know, after 3 weeks, then I'll just drop 5 pounds. So it's really hard to forecast how the weight is going to come off. I seem to retain water, like my fingers swell, my feet will swell sometimes. And if I'm not drinking a lot of water, or if I've had like a salty meal, like if we ate out, that will help you retain water. But after a day or two, you may see that the number on the scale will drop. But don't put all of your attention and focus on the scale. Focus on the other things. They're far more important than the number on the scale. You know, can you climb a flight of stairs without getting breathless? Are your pants a little looser? Do you feel better about yourself? It's really focus on how you feel about yourself. Do you notice that your arms are getting toned if you've been working out? All those things are much more important than the number on the scale or the number on the tag on the back of your shirt. Remember that, ladies. That's a really important thing to think of and to remember. This is an easy mistake to make because lots of times, you know, we'll see the ads like, have this granola bar, it's got all this protein in it, but what it doesn't tell you, it also has all this sugar in it. So mistake number 9 is eating healthy snacks that aren't healthy. Granola bars, trail mix, even smoothies can be packed with hidden calories, and I have fallen for this trap. The fix is you want to check labels, you want to swap out for whole foods. So think of an apple with peanut butter or having some raw nuts. Those are great snacks to have rather than, you know, a granola bar or trail mix. If you're having nuts, the dietitian told me don't go over a 1/4 cup total per day. Nuts have essential fats in them that are good for our body, but it's also a fat, right? And if you eat like 5 cups of nuts in a day, it's going to be a lot of fat, it's going to be a lot of calories. So try and not go over a 1/4 cup a day. She also told me whenever you're having snacks, you want to pair a protein with either a fat or a fiber-rich complex carbohydrates. So an example would be a piece of cheese with maybe 15 almonds or walnuts. Some apple slices with some nut butter, like not a 1/2 cup of nut butter, like maybe a tablespoon of nut butter. But you know what I mean? Try and always have protein in your meal, protein in your snacks. So just always keep protein right, you know, at the top of the list. It's a game changer. You know, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, eggs, you know, meat, tofu. There are endless sources of protein. And I did do a video a while ago with the top 10 protein foods that I reach for that are helping me feel satiated and lose weight. So I'll link that video here if you missed it. Go check it out. I have some other videos coming up that will also help you with this. And the final mistake is doing this alone. You know, it's really hard to be your own cheerleader when you feel like there's not much gas left in your tank, when you're busy taking care of everybody else. And sometimes we feel guilty putting ourselves at the top of the list, but it really is true. Like when you get on the airplane and the flight attendant says, you know, the oxygen mask comes down, put yours on before helping anybody else. And that is true, and it's especially true as we're aging, you know, going through menopause, being postmenopausal. It takes a lot of energy to take care of people, but it's really important to put ourselves first, and that's not being selfish. Of course, if they're in like in a dire situation, put them first, but I'm talking about making time every day for yourself. And it doesn't have to be like an hour, maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you can afford. Break it up during the day. Just try and move more, eat more protein. If you find it difficult to motivate yourself, maybe join a group, like an Aquafit group, or if you have like a Weight Watchers in your area, if they still have meetings. They don't have that here. I still have the Weight Watchers app, but I wouldn't say I'm following it. I'm kind of like half following it. I'm following more what I learned with the dietitian. Like I prefer the balanced plate, and I just feel like focusing on the protein and you know, using the knowledge that she shared with me, I prefer to go that route. But it's not to say that I'm not still going to follow Weight Watchers. Like if I can find a recipe that they like, it's still a handy tool to have. But if you need accountability, having a friend, a family member, a trainer, or some sort of a support system, you may find that beneficial. I myself prefer to go it alone. My family, my husband, my daughter, they're my biggest cheerleaders, and you, of course, you are my support system. To tell anybody else, no, like, because then people, I find they put pressure on you, and then they make you feel bad, and then you fall into that whole scenario of just wanting to give up. Because I know I've had a few instances here where, like, I'm honest, like, weight loss at 57 is not easy, okay? And I'm not perfect. But somebody sometimes will leave a comment, well, you're not losing weight fast enough, or, you know, just something snotty like that. Well, I'm sorry I'm not losing weight to your specifications. Like, are you living my life? Do you have my body, my metabolism? No. So then worry about yourself. Don't worry about me. Don't let people tear you down, okay? You do what you got to do, what's best for you, because only you know what is working for you. What might work for me may not work for you. What might work for somebody else may not work for me. You know, I'm not interested in pickleball. I'm not interested in going swimming. I just like to be by myself. I like to do my weights, go for my walks by myself or with my daughter, and that's what's working for me. So do what works for you. Don't worry about what other people say or think. You don't have to fix all 10 of these mistakes. Just pick one or two, focus on that, and after you've nailed that, move on to another. Fixing one or two of these can really make a huge difference. And whenever you feel good about yourself, then you're really going to want to focus on yourself. You're going to be really successful. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. And I upload 2 videos a week, and all of my content is always free, and I just want you to know how much you mean to me, and I'm just so thankful for your support and for you always tuning in and sharing this time with me. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.